Good evening. We're so glad you're with us tonight because we hope to begin a conversation, all of us together, about something happening around us. And we truly want everyone to weigh in. People who have guns at home, people who do not. All of us here because of some tough but real numbers.
We learned just this week, Diane, that nearly every hour in America, a child or teen sent to the hospital with a gunshot wound, and in many of those cases, an accidental shooting in their own home. So is there something we can do to keep it from happening?
And we want to be clear that tonight is not another debate about whether people should or should not have guns. We're going to be checking online every minute to know what you really think as you're watching. And we begin with the question of small children told not to touch a gun and what they may be doing when we're not looking. In homes across America tonight, from Highfield Lane to County Road 170, from rural Georgia to Walnut Avenue in New Jersey, every third house in the neighborhood on average has guns inside. Some locked, some hidden, some out and loaded. 1.7 million children live where there are unlocked and loaded guns, and friends come to play.
There's one right there. It's pretty hard to find that one.
It's up there, Mom.
Sitting on the kitchen table.
I have it in my Juicy Couture box.
Loaded guns on a bookshelf, under a pillow, in a backpack, even a diaper bag.
A handgun in a child's diaper bag.
But so many of the moms and dads are certain they have taught their high-energy children do not touch and do not play with guns.
They know the consequences of not being safe with it.
They're not toys, they're to be respected.
They are taught to not touch them at a young age.
So we wondered, what are young children doing when parents are not looking? Come with us to McManus School in St. Petersburg, Florida, which helped us find parents and kids, nearly all of whom had been taught don't touch a gun and tell an adult. 44 children, and we took half of them to reinforce that message. The St. Petersburg police gave a safety class, and they looked at the popular video from the NRA, Eddie Eagle.
Now stop! Don't touch! Leave the area, tell an adult!
Stop! Don't touch! Leave the area, tell an adult!
The kids have it cold. Working with us, Professor Marjorie Sanfilippo of Eckerd College, a published expert in pediatric psychology and gun safety. And so we are ready. With full permission of the parents, we put 7 cameras inside a room, in toy bins, and the butterfly on the ceiling. And then, after a few days, the St. Petersburg police give us guns, real guns, unloaded. We place them in a room, candy on the table nearby. And again, these are 44 good kids, most of whom know the rules by heart, and parents about to get the shock of their lives. As we begin, this first group of boys are about to show you something you will see over and over again.
Oh, no.
Their words say, don't touch that gun.
Back away from it.
But their bodies can't seem to help it. Think of it as a dance of temptation at the table. And then around the room, even as they are chanting the rules a total of 20 times. They know to do it, but they do not. And 6 minutes after finding that gun,
don't touch the gun.
They touch and dance again. Our second group of boys is about to do the same.
Don't touch.
But they take only 2 minutes, not just to touch, but to pound the barrel. And then the third group.
Don't mess with it.
Within 10 minutes, they take the gun out and do this. Professor Sanfilippo says that is a scene that is too often played out in real life.
These 3-year-olds who shoot themselves in the head, for whatever reason, it's a natural thing to look down the barrel.
Right afterwards, this young boy narrates what he's doing as he's crossing the line.
I'm touching it. I'm pulling it. See how many times?
His friend shows this is how you check to see if a gun is real.
Just see if it's real.
Finally, after they've had time to play, they get around to those rules.
Help! Help! We found a gun! 2 guns! 3. 2 guns.
Did you guys touch it when I was gone?
No. Yes. Yep.
You did touch it when I was gone?
We did touch it.
You did. Did you touch it?
Yeah.
No, you didn't?
And then what happens with our fourth group of boys? Well, Professor Sanfilippo has barely left the room when one of them sees the gun and in 6 seconds has pointed it at his face. They put it back, pull it out,
It's not funny.
and then aim at each other. Another child trying to figure out a gun by staring down the barrel. And what kid gets a gun in his hand and doesn't want to pretend he's in the movies?
Put the gun down! Dude, that is a real gun. It's not funny.
Professor Sanfilippo had seen enough.
It's not a real gun. Yes! Right here.
Okay, put it. What are you touching it for?
The professor and the police officer asked for clarification.
We both knew not to pull it. And the first thing we were gonna do when you came back in was gonna tell you this.
And you did. You told me right away. And then you picked it up and pointed it at me.
We weren't gonna like fire it or anything because we're both smart enough to know not to pull it.
Here we are, 4 groups of boys, and our expert says a powerful truth.
They can learn the knowledge. They could sit down, we could ask them to repeat it, but you can't educate curiosity out of a child.
So you may be wondering, were there any kids who did follow the rules, and who were they?
Oh, I found the gun!
Only 1 girl out of 14 even touched a gun, and most of them ran out for help. And there were also older boys who seemed to have more resistance. There, in the red shirt, is 10-year-old Kendrick, who acts like a crossing guard for the younger boys.
It's a real gun.
He even tries to come up with a diversion.
Just take some animal crackers.
And in another group, another older boy, 10-year-old Ari.
There could be real bullets in there. I don't know. And
Maybe we'll shoot the window.
we are not shooting anything, okay?
Or the window.
Yes, even the window. Because if we accidentally hit that, it could cost a turtle's life. So whatever you do not touch the guns.
Professor Sanfilippo asks Ari to step out of the room to congratulate him on being careful around guns.
You should be really proud of yourself.
I am. When I saw the gun, I wanted to spring into action. And I felt really good about that.
But with Ari now out of the room, the younger boys are all alone. Do 5-year-olds really grasp guns and danger? When one of the boys touches the gun, the other seems afraid and dives for cover.
I'm gonna stay under the table. Okay? I'm gonna stay under the table. Nope. No bullets. No bullets? Nope.
The frightened boy comes out and pulls the trigger just to be sure.
Yeah, no bullets.
No fear left. One child pulls the trigger on his friend and then himself.
It didn't shoot. When I pointed it at me, it didn't do that.
They know how to play dead, but as we saw over and over, do they really know what death is?
We'll die.
It's not until much later in childhood and adolescence that children understand that death doesn't mean going to sleep.
After our experiment, David Muir sat down with some of the parents to watch the videotapes. A mom who said she'd been sheltering her son even from seeing violent movies or guns on TV.
Oh my God. I don't even like them watching like the Spider-Man cartoons because it has violence and stuff in it.
Andrea Bevan watching her 6-year-old, and by the way, his dad is in law enforcement.
He was drawn to it, picked it up, pointed it at himself, clicked the trigger a few times. Yeah, that's the toughest part. To these guys, guns are about the same seriousness as crickets, frogs and cookies.
Another mom who thought her 4-year-old hadn't even seen violent media.
That's scary. I have never showed him a gun, and I didn't think he knew what they look like.
What were you pulling out?
A gun. And what do guns do to you when you pick them up and touch them?
It can kill you.
It can kill you. We walk away from them, and we don't be around people that have guns, okay?
Yes, Mommy.
Okay.
Yes, Mommy.
Adrian, stop!
Wow.
And this mom who says she not only taught her son Jamie about guns, but told him stories from her job. She works in a hospital operating room where doctors try to save children from death by bullet.
He knows what I do, where I work.
Jamie doesn't want to face his mom.
Oh, God. I'm not looking. I ain't looking.
Yeah.
Do you remember what your mom had told you about guns before?
Sometimes they can be loaded or not, and then like you're not supposed to like touch them or anything.
What do you wish, Jamie?
I wish you would just delete that.
But what else?
I wish I hadn't touched the gun.
You wish you hadn't touched the gun.
I wish my mom hadn't seen it.
Overall, these were the results of our experiment. More than half of the boys touched the guns, even when promising not to. And the kids reinforced by Eddie Eagle and the local police, fewer of them touched, but a lot of them did too.
Why was the gun even in here?
That's a very good question.
Very good question.
Okay. You know why the gun was in here? Because we wanted to see what kids would do if they found a gun.
Showing us what so many parents say they wish they had seen.
It just never would have crossed my mind to ask them if they had guns.
Experienced hunters.
And you know, you can't go around saying, well, that can never be me. I never thought I'd be that person either.
And even the deputy sheriff, policeman of the year, and his wife, who want to help everyone save another child by telling the story of a little boy and a gun way out of reach.